You know, more than 4,000 U.S. troops have been killed in Iraq since the war began, and one program is trying to help the families of those servicemen and women deal with their loss. Since last year, the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, also known as TAPS, has held seminars around the country. Bonnie Carroll started TAPS, and she joins us now live from Washington. Bonnie, thank you so much for your time today. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, Bonnie, I wanted to ask you to tell us more about TAPS and why exactly you decided to start this program.
Well, great. TAPS is the national organization for all those whose lives have been touched by a death in the armed forces or in support of the military mission. Back in 1992, when my husband was killed in the Army in a plane crash with 7 other soldiers, there was no support organization for military families. So, with the help of the other families from that incident, we started work. We talked with the Department of Defense, the VA, the other peer-based support programs in America, and over the course of 2 years developed TAPS. And you know, it's really stood the test of time. Today, TAPS is a very large national nonprofit organization providing support, comfort, and care to 25,000 family members.
25,000 family members. Wow. So I wanted to say, through your loss, you've been able to help tens of thousands cope with their loss, and I can only imagine how difficult the process must be, how difficult it must be when children are involved. And I understand that you've set up something called the Good Grief Camp. Can you explain what that is?
It's an amazing program, and we've helped thousands of children now. It provides 4 basic services. Kids own age group. So they've got 8-year-olds talking to 8-year-olds in their own language about their loss and the challenges that they're facing. They're paired one-on-one with a military mentor who we've trained to work with children in traumatic grief, and it gives them an opportunity to reconnect with the military in their own right. And it's a great program for the military as well. Kids also then in their age groups work with the counselors, and they learn coping strategies so they can handle the challenges that they face day to day. And the kids participate in ceremonies around Washington this Memorial Day weekend so that they understand how America honors those who have served and died, and that their family is part of that legacy.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. And I understand there is one very special little girl that you wanted to tell us about. Her name is Sierra Becker.
She is an amazing, amazing young girl. She is 8 years old, but she's got the wisdom of someone many, many, many times her age. Her father was killed in Iraq in April of 2007. And, you know, when the notification team came to her home, she stood in the door and she said, "Not my daddy." But it was. And Sierra has been a support to her mom and her new little baby sister who was born just 28 days before her father was killed. Sierra's, actually, her mom stayed up at Fort Richardson, Alaska a little bit longer so Sierra could go to the Good Grief Camp we held at Fort Richardson. They then got in the car, they moved down to Texas, and they attended the Good Grief Camp that we held at Fort Hood just a few weeks later. So this actually, now coming to the big national seminar, will be Sierra's her third seminar, her first national one.
It's good news.
Yeah.
You know, I can only imagine how difficult it must be when there are children involved. What do you say to them? Tell us a little bit about the process. How do you help them cope?
Well, it's understanding that they are not alone. It's validating the loss that they're feeling and connecting them with others who can be a support system for them as they go along. We do all sorts of memorial activities, including they write a letter to their loved one, and they attach it to a balloon, and we release those balloons with a message of "I love you, I remember you," and it just reconnects that child with their father. It lets them know that the father will always be a part of their life and will not be forgotten, and that America will remember also.
Well, Bonnie, before we let you go, I just want to say congratulations, because I understand that you were actually awarded recently with the highest level of public service award from the Office of the Secretary of Defense. So congratulations on that award, on the medal.
Thank you very much, Veronica.
Bonnie Carroll is the director and the founder of TAPS. It is the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. Bonnie, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.